everybody and welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to show you how to make this really easy textured and fast growing vertical stripe rib scarf. I have made this one for my husband to keep his neck warm, but you are of course free, it's totally unisex, to make it for whoever you like. You don't have to make a scarf for my husband. For this scarf I am using, I can never say this, how do you pronounce this? Sirdar? I have no idea. I'm just going to call it number 1 Stonewashed. So I have used the number 1 Stonewashed in a sort of, they don't have names, they just have shade numbers. I'll list it below with a link to where you can buy it from. I bought mine from Snuffle Bean Yarn. Now just a note about this yarn. It is so soft. I cannot explain to you how soft this yarn is. Now, the only slight downside of this yarn is it is very, very loosely spun. So I don't know if you can see this, but it does want to separate out. So if you are a beginner, a total beginner, perhaps using a different sort of chunky yarn would work better for you, purely because this can be a little bit of a nightmare when it sort of wants to come undone, and it's very, very easy to catch the threads on your work. Can you see how loose that is? It's very easy to catch it. So if you are a beginner and you're not really comfortable using yarn that sort of wants to sort of split this easily, then perhaps choose a different yarn. But seriously, this yarn is worth a try. I cannot tell you how soft it is. So with all that out of the way, let's jump straight into how you make this super duper simple, smart striped scarf. So using my 5.5mm crochet hook with the Stonewashed, this pattern could not be simpler. It really couldn't be simpler. So we're going to start with half double foundation crochet stitches. I'm just popping a slip knot on my hook. Now, if you do not know how to do foundation half double crochet stitches, I have a video on how to do just that. If you click the arrow here, you'll expand the description box, which has got a link to that video, or a little eye will have popped up over here somewhere along the top, which you can click on to take you straight to that video. So you're going to chain 2, and then yarn over and place your hook in between 2 of the strands of your very first chain here. So you can see it's already getting quite splitty, so I'm not sure how easy this is going to be for you to see, but I'm trying to catch 2 loops of that first chain and then yarn over. Your yarn's already waiting there. Yarn over and come back through. Now you want to pull that up a little taller than you usually would. So you'll have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 1, which forms the chain, and then yarn over and pull through those remaining 3 loops, which forms the half double crochet on top. Now what you might want to do is mark that very first half double crochet with a stitch marker, as she says, scrabbling around trying to find one. There's one. So I'm just going to pop a stitch marker under that first stitch if I can. And then for the remainder of your foundation half double crochet, you're going to yarn over and you're going to go underneath the 2 loops of that chain you just formed. Yarn over at the back, come through, pull up, yarn over, pull through 1 loop, which forms a chain, and then yarn over and pull through the remaining 3. Now, as I said, I do have a much clearer video on how to do this, which I have linked to below. Now, for my particular scarf, I did foundation half double crochet 193 stitches. So I've done 2. If I was recreating this scarf, I would need to do 191 more. Now, I'm not going to, because we don't have all day. I'm just going to do a small swatch. So I'm going to go ahead and just form a few more of these to show you the premise behind the scarf, but you are free to keep going for as long as you want your scarf to be. So the 193 I did was just purely the length I wanted to be able to go up, wrap around my neck and come back down, or my husband's neck as the case may be. It's not a very long scarf. So you keep going for the full length of your scarf, not the width, the length. All right, so I've done a tiny little sample of 14 stitches. So my foundation half double crochet. You'll note it's really nice and super stretchy. So you should have a super long length of half double foundation crochet stitches. As I say, I've got 14 for the sake of this video. And that would be your first row. So the full length of your scarf. So this scarf is formed length first, and every row we add is going to be the width. So chain one and turn your work. Now this chain one does not count as a stitch at any point during this scarf. So you can completely ignore that chain one. And we're going to be working into the stitch immediately where you just chained from. Now, if you take a moment to look at the top of your stitches, you'll see little V's that are formed along the top. Now, this section here where my thumb is the front loop, and this section where my index finger is the back loop. Now, for the entirety of this scarf, you'll be working into the back loop only. So we're going to do half double crochet in the back loop only. So you only want to be going into that back loop to do your half double crochets. That forms the ribbing. So go ahead and pop a half double crochet into each back loop. So I've got 14, so I'll have 14 stitches at the end. If you're following along and you've done 193, you will have 193 stitches for every single row. I'll also show you at the end of this row how to change colour if you wanted the stripes. So I'm right at the end now, and I've only got one more stitch to go, and that is the stitch I want to change colour with. So to change colour, I'm going to do my half double crochet into the back loop as normal. And for changing colour, you bring in your new colour to complete the stitch. So I've got my 3 loops here. So instead of yarning over and pulling all through all 3 loops with my white, I'm going to drop that and I'm going to bring in the blue, and I'm going to use that to yarn over. So I'm ready for the next row to have blue. So chain 1, turn your work, and again, back loop only, half double crochet. So this back loop only technique is what gives you your ribbing for your scarf. And that is literally all you need to do. So if I bring in my actual scarf, turn it around the right way, you can see I did the full length. This is all 193 stitches. I did the full length first, and then the width is built in rows. So it is up to you how wide you want your scarf to be. For my scarf in particular, I did 3 rows of white followed by 1 of blue. 3 rows of white, 1 of blue. But you are of course free to do your vertical striped scarf however you wish. And you can make it as long as you wish or as wide as you wish. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you enjoy making your super duper easy peasy vertical stripe ribbed scarves. So until next time, happy crocheting. Bye.